I said Supergirl on Twitter, so
Sweet.
I just picked randomly.
So can people talk to us on here?
They should be able to, although I don't see it live on. Hold on.
There's like a chat bar here off to the side.
Yeah, they should be able to click the thing and go, but I don't see it live on Pod Off Course. Oh, here we go. It says sending data, sending data.
I like how it says everyone can see and hear you.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, it should be sending it to Pod Off Course right now, but it does look like it's on. Looks like it's on YouTube. Okay, let's play How Do You See Alive? I don't see it in our videos, but it says it's. Here we go. Okay, we are. I can see it, but I would like a link to it. Get shareable link. Look at that. Okay, and then here.
Too many screens.
Okay, it still says it's sending it to Twitter, which is odd. But let me see if I can post this link. Okay. Okay, I have us up. Working, but let me.
Is my lights too bright?
Let me look at you. I don't think so.
Sweet.
Connect. I hope people are watching and just hearing me sing while I try to figure out how the internet works.
Do you watch Bob's Burgers?
Yeah.
Linda.
Just Linda. Yeah, it's a hardcore Linda move. I'm singing and streaming.
It's exactly what she said.
Okay, toggle this boy on. Okay, you know what? It may catch up. It might not. Who knows? Oh, okay, here it is. Yeah. I think it's working. Oh, Leslie says hello. Hi, Leslie.
Hey, Leslie.
I hope you're enjoying whatever's happening right now.
I have no idea what's happening.
I think I now know what's happening. Yes. Okay. I'm going to delete this YouTube link. Okay, I'm going to put the YouTube link onto Red Herring, but they won't need it on Pot Off Course because the video is directly embedded into Pot Off Course now.
Got it. Sweet.
Okay, so let me just...
I trust everything you said with all the things.
Go to Red Herring. Here, let's talk to Leslie and maybe we can figure out if this is working for anybody else. Leslie, I think if you click the link, it should take you to a Restream link and let you talk in the chat. And if it does that, could you please tell us in the chat if this is working? Help me. What does this button do? Get shareable link. Okay. Tweeted. Okay, I think we are good. Ha! Leslie,
hey,
yes!
There's Leslie.
Yes, it's working. Yay!
It's
okay.
the little things.
It truly is. Okay, well then I say let's get started. Let's say if for some reason this goes away, please tweet us or something.
Yeah, messages.
We are trying. Okay, cool. Can you hear everybody okay and everything? I think there might be a slight delay on that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you, Leslie. You are
Thanks,
a hero.
Leslie.
Okay. So you want to start then?
Absolutely.
Yay!
Hello and welcome to this episode of Pod Off Course, where we discuss the CW TV show
Wait,
Supergirl.
wait! I have to record it.
Eventually, we will eventually discuss Supergirl.
Oh my god! It almost happened. Okay,
but it didn't. It didn't. You caught it.
It's
I didn't
recording.
even think about it. Didn't even think about it.
I was like, oh dear God. Leslie, I don't even know if we have control over this wooden border. I assume we do, but I haven't gotten that far.
I'm glad the aesthetics are very, very nice to see, you know, for other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's
For
good to
those
know.
of you just tuning in, we almost forgot to record this shit.
And if you don't like it, we can't change it because we don't know how. So that's where we're at.
It's truly a miracle that we even got this live stream onto 2 different Twitter accounts at the same time. I don't even know. Okay, you can start now. We are recording.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Hello and welcome to this episode of Pod Off Course, where we discuss the CW TV show Supergirl through a LGBTQIA plus lens. My name's Shelly, and my pronouns are they, them.
My name is Erin, and my pronouns are they, them.
And on today's show, we are going to discuss Supergirl Season 6, Episode 3, Phantom Menaces. And the official summary was written hastily, I would say. It is one sentence, and it says, while Lena and Lex battle for control of Luthor Corps, Supergirl makes a new ally. And that is it.
I remember that came out like way before even the first episode of the season came out. So maybe they were trying not to give anything away.
They sure didn't.
They sure did not give anything away.
Even the plot. All right. So Phantom Menaces, love the title. Star Wars reference. Even though people hate that Star Wars movie for whatever reason. I just appreciate all the ones we ever got. So I can't rip on it. But that was like the start of Jar Jar Binks. So everybody just lost their minds over it. So there is a phantom from the Phantom Zone on the loose in National City.
Yes.
And
Phantomus Prime.
Yeah. Kara and Zor-El are trying to hitch a ride with a phantom. That's kind of where we start, right? With out of the Phantom Zone through a portal. And I can't tell if they miss or if they just fall off of the Phantom. And I think they might have said, but I don't.
I think they grab him and then they just like shoot through the portal with him and then fall.
They just don't make it.
What I think is interesting about the Phantom Zone is that it's like entirely exposition. Like we don't see them like find the Phantom or grab it at all. It's just like, here's what happened and here's how bad it has been. And we're like, cool, can we see it?
So it looks like Kara breaks her leg, possibly. That's how it seems. It's if it's not broken, she's badly injured.
Yeah.
And people kidnap Zor-El to sacrifice him to some lake monster. Yes. When that was all coming out of like Nixley's mouth, I was like, what is happening? What am I watching?
We don't see this lake monster, but apparently it has to go around the lake 11 times before it will accept a sacrifice.
It's so random.
I
don't know. Maybe it's got a thing for prime numbers. I'm not sure. But whatever the case is, yeah, it has to circle the lake 11 times. So they have plenty of time to come up with a plan to rescue Zor-El. But we get to meet Nixley. So what's your thoughts on Nixley?
Having seen both episodes, I have different thoughts. But well, no, both ways. I like her. I still like her. Hold on, I'm getting an echo, and I think it's because YouTube might be up. Do you hear the echo? Okay, cool. Then we'll just keep going. I liked her a lot in this one. I felt really bad for her about what her dad did. And she seemed very sweet.
She did. She did seem really sweet. And I guess when I think of imps, I think of the last iteration we had of Mixie. And he was kind of a decent guy. Not so much the first time we saw Mixie. He wasn't so good then. So I didn't keep that in mind as I watched. And I just took what she said at face value. And I kind of felt sorry for her. Like the same as you. I liked her. Like she seemed nice. She seemed like she wanted to help. She seemed to know that, like, the guys that kidnapped Zor-El were bad dudes and figured out a way to like rescue him. So
yeah, I mean, even after the last episode, I still believe her story, unless she's embellishing like Mon-El did. But she likes shenanigans too.
Yeah, well, she's an imp. I guess that's their thing.
They do like a shenanigan.
Yeah, consonants and shenanigans.
That's the way.
No vowels, as far as the eye can see.
Not a single vowel in sight. Only a sometimes vowel.
Yeah, if you count Y. I don't, but I know that's a rule somewhere. At least it was at some point.
It was in kindergarten, at least.
Yeah, and sometimes Y was part of something, some rhyme or song that they taught us.
Mm-hmm.
But to stay on like we'll go ahead if you don't care and just talk about
Go for it.
Nixley and Kara. So Nixley's talking about the Phantom Zone being fractured. And she's kind of seeing like flashes of a life she doesn't really remember having, but it feels real. And Kara's having the same thing. And of course, it's because of Crisis. But I don't understand why they're reliving that through the Phantom Zone. I know, like, I feel like it happened on Earth as well. Like, people, I don't even know if it was this one. It could have been other CW shows, but people were having flashes from other lives, other events, similar to Alice, but hers was just Enigma related. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that they brought that up, and I wondered like where they were going with that. I feel like they didn't really go anywhere with
They
it.
didn't. Yeah, the answer is nowhere.
I wanted them to. Like, I felt like that's like interesting. You should talk about that more, but they didn't.
I think it's just their explanation for why there are so many plot holes in the Phantom Zone.
I'll take it.
The plot hole zone.
Yeah. But yeah, for this episode, that's really like all I had, except by the end, Nixley's decided to help them, join them in helping them get out of the Phantom Zone.
Yeah. And I thought it was kind of cute how she like just assumed that they weren't going to take her with them. And then got all excited when they said yes. So like I think she's probably mostly good. Just has a side that embraces shenanigans.
Yeah. Leslie says maybe Kara is seeing a different reality because Nia and Brainy messed something up in Midvale. That could be. I don't know why these people. I don't know why these people are still messing with time. It never goes well.
Every single member of the Justice League is out here messing with time. And only one should have that power. It is not the Flash, and it is not the Super Friends.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But that's a good point. Like maybe it's in the process of changing because of what they do.
That's very true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. The Phantom Zone is odd because, especially when you're looking at like fan fiction and stuff like that, like I feel like, and I understand it has to do with Melissa Benoist not being super available for the first little while and having to catch up in a short amount of time, but it's like people want that story so badly, and it's just such a tiny little part.
Yeah.
And you have to like fill in most of the blanks.
That's true. Let's see. Oh, Nixley had that bracelet on that her father put on her, and it's like, I guess, a magic dampener is how I took it. I don't feel like she actually said. But she busted off because Kara inspired her and like filled her with hope. So Kara's still doing her thing, even in the Phantom Zone. But that's how Nixley is supposed to help them bust out, is because she has her magic back.
Yes. Which that also seemed remarkably easy, but you know what? Kara just be like that.
Yeah. She gives you a speech and you're just like, yep.
I would like her to give me a speech, please.
She does a good job at that. She's very inspirational.
It's her whole thing. Is there any other Nixley stuff we want to talk about?
That's really all I had. Just
or any other Phantom Zone stuff, I guess.
Just the introduction. She's a princess imp with daddy issues. That's what I got.
Yes, that is correct. And wasn't she married to Mixie in the comics? Is that real, or did I make that up?
I have no idea. I don't know.
I think I read it somewhere, but I'm not sure. That could be false information.
I want to believe that.
We'll go with it.
Great. Well, we know he's showing up later in the season.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and we know they know each other in some way on the show, at least.
So maybe that's just something she's choosing to hide from Kara.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
But that's interesting because his whole introduction was that he was trying to get Kara to marry him.
Yeah. That is interesting. I wonder if she has feelings about that, if they are indeed married.
Yeah, maybe she does. Let's see. So I guess since we just talked about the Phantom Zone, we can just talk about the Earth Phantoms now.
Yeah, the Earth Phantoms. I was sad to see that happen to Silas after Alex was just like, we won't let anything happen to you.
Except for when you go home and then we take no responsibility.
Right. There is some kind of if you breathe in a phantom clause.
Right. If you physically ingest the Phantom, there is nothing we can do.
Right. Oh. So, and I don't know about this whole like Phantom Prom business.
He gets bigger when he gets more powerful. It's so stupid.
Yeah. So they attack planets and they collect people's souls because they lost their planet. So they're but why would you move planet to planet? Why wouldn't you just like invade one, take it over, and be cool with it?
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
I guess so.
I don't know. You're right, Leslie. Prime did not look bigger. They just said he was bigger. I don't know. They got bored. Don't they not feel anything? This is deep into the next episode, but apparently they don't feel anything. So maybe all they want is more souls.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just feel like here, especially the last like this episode and the next episode, they took from so many different movies.
Yeah, they did.
And when they were talking about a phantom being a tracker, like I immediately thought of Twilight.
Let me tell you, this is a sidebar, but Gracie and I were watching Harry Potter 7 last night over text, basically just like how we watched Twilight. And in one of the scenes when they're running away from the Snatchers through the woods, it's so prolonged, and all I texted Gracie was, "You better hold on tight, Spider Monkey." She was like, "I hate you." I never stopped thinking about Twilight, and that's something everyone should know about me.
Yeah, Aaron and I are like Twilight obsessed, and we have like-minded Twilight obsessed people that that participate.
I'm not sure you're framing this the correct way.
No, I guess not. I mean, not obsessed,
we are
but like
infatuated with Twilight.
There you go. That might be a better way to put it.
And truly love to roast it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyways, yes, they they really do steal straight from Twilight and Ghostbusters in these 2 episodes.
Really badly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they even put like a Jaws line in there. I don't know. Something about like how they'll need a bigger gun.
Oh yeah. I think that was in the most recent one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Magan goes to try to stop the Phantoms and gets first of all, when they scratch you, they don't fuck around.
No,
it's
those
like,
lacerations
that would
are
kill
bad.
you. I don't understand how those people are alive.
Yes, Leslie, you're right. Jaws, we need a bigger boat.
Yeah. Because I mean that was like full on like 3 knife slashes to the throat. I was like, big yikes.
Yeah, it was pretty gross. I mean, it wasn't Batwoman gross, but it was
correct
on the verge. It was on the verge for me. I felt like when they breathing, like the lacerations would move. It just wasn't my bag at all.
Yeah, it was not super great. But Magan was gonna get fully phantomed.
Yeah. Yeah, she was going to get fully phantomed. They gave her a Martian transfusion. Is that what they said?
A
Something like that.
soul transfusion.
Well, he had like blood or I don't know, some kind of transfusion that Alex gave initially to like slow the transformation. And then they came up with this whole thing about how he had a piece of Magon's soul. Jean had a piece of Magon's soul within him from when they did the bind. Is that what they call it, right? When they were stopping Lex from taking over the world. Martian plasma, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank God you're here, Leslie. I'm serious. So serious right now. So yeah, they were trying to save Magon, and I felt bad for Jean. Like he was really super tore up about it. I think he felt guilty. And he, like Kara, has lost so many people already that I didn't want him to lose somebody else, but I also didn't want Magon to die. So I was just thinking they need to do something.
Yeah. But they did, and she seemed mostly fine.
Yeah.
She gets a little weird in the next one, but still mostly fine.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, that was basically what happened to Magon. It was kind of cool how they thought of that. Brainy made that Star Wars movie, or I'm sorry, Star Trek movie reference. I've never seen that movie before, but I enjoy Brainy. I feel like I do that a lot. I make references to movies and nobody gets them. Like hardly ever. So, but he made a reference about where they were keeping Magon's soul. So
Star
Leslie's seen it.
Not the best.
Yeah.
Apparently not the best.
I guess like the other thing we could talk about a little bit is Alex. She was kind of a wreck this episode.
That's a way to put it. Hardcore depressed is what I put in my notes, I think.
Yeah. She did end up watching Kara's message on the crystal.
That was a mistake, I feel like.
It was. And Kyler Lee crying is like so hard to watch.
I know, it physically hurts me.
She does a great job of being sad.
Maybe it's because of the crystals or whatever, but like I found it. She gave up pretty quickly. It's been, I think episodes 2 and 3 take place over like 48 to 72 hours.
Yeah. The way I took it is she just felt so defeated after it didn't happen in the 24-hour time span that they gave Silas to make it happen. And that it all like backfired so horribly. Like that was my thought.
Ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, she just felt like crazy defeated and was just like, it's over. Which is bad for her. I feel bad for her. But Kelly's super sweet and is so good for Alex.
Yeah. And at least Alex wasn't drinking scotch at like 9 a.m.
Right.
Which she easily could have been because we've seen that before.
Right.
Yeah, Leslie says the saddest thing Alex said was that she couldn't breathe. And she also said she felt like she didn't deserve air. And I was like, can I please give you 17 hugs?
Yeah.
That's so sad. You didn't do anything wrong.
Like in a way I can relate. Like I can't imagine if I lost my sister. I think I've talked about this before, but we're very close in age. We're like 15 months apart. So I don't remember life without her. I'm the oldest, but I still don't was too young to remember her not being around. And like, I just can't imagine how I would be if I lost her. So I would probably feel the same way.
Yeah, I'm gonna need several extended Danvers sisters scenes when we get back.
Yeah.
Or when Kara gets back. Otherwise, I'm gonna fight somebody. Which, given recent history, means I'm probably gonna fight somebody.
Yeah. I feel like Kyler Lee said in that TV Guide interview that like we're due some Danvers sisters couch scenes. So hopefully that comes to fruition.
We best get some.
Yeah.
There were there any last season? Leslie, you're here. You know everything.
It's true, she does.
Tell us. Maybe like one or two, but there was not that much Alex and Kara last season.
There really wasn't.
Yeah, I thought all of the Alex and Kelly stuff was really sweet though. Kelly was doing a great job of taking care of her, and got to do some super friending, which is good. On the path to become guardian.
Yeah.
But then their scene at the end, which I think I tweeted from our account, I truly couldn't believe that we got to see it because there's so much that we don't get to see. Leslie says there was you're right, there was an Alex and Kara couch scene when Kara was going to go steal that thing for Lena.
The book or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah, anyways, I thought it was very, very nice that we got to see Alex ask Kelly to move in with her. And it was a pretty long scene, so maybe there's hope.
Yeah. No, that was really awesome. I kind of like, Lex's journals. Leslie has all the behind the scenes info here for us. That's the only reason we
Fairness,
sound like
I have
we know
not
anything.
rewatched. Yeah, I have not rewatched season 5 at all.
I can't blame you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alex kind of turned it around in the middle of the episode and like was there for Jean as he was like going through the emotions of possibly losing Magon, and like she helped kind of inspire him and keep him on track. So she sees Kelly as her rock, and I don't think she's wrong.
I think she's correct. Also, there's a few people watching, so if y'all click on the link, it should take you to a chat. So if you want to say anything in the chat, feel free. Yeah, I thought it was the sweetest. And when Alex said "you saved me," I was like, my heart. It's so sweet.
It is sweet. And I think that'll be really good for her with Kara being gone, to have somebody there with her like all the time. She needs that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that's why she asked Kelly to move in, but I'm saying that's going to be good for her in the long run, I think.
Yeah, otherwise it's going to be her and her best friend Wine.
Yeah. So let's see. The other stuff in the episode that there's another couch scene after Jeremiah's death, but Kelly was there too. So Lena and Lex are bickering. Lex is still still an annoying piece of garbage.
Lex is still present.
Yeah. And Lena's trying to like sabotage some stuff, keep Lex away from the company so he doesn't destroy it or like destroy the world, essentially. She's like having Brainy help her like hack his accounts and like funnel money he was using to buy weapons illegally from Casnia, and instead directing that towards the children's wing of the hospital in National City.
Interesting that they remember Casnia, but they don't remember Red Daughter.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming on this Earth, the Red Daughter stuff didn't happen, but they still remember everything that happened on Earth 38.
Right.
They just apparently have blocked Red Daughter out of their memory, and the fact that Kara absorbed her.
Yeah. Seriously. Or Mikhail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know what happened to him so bad. That was like one of the most depressing storylines ever written. For me, anyways. I don't know why it got to me so bad, but it really did. Like, it was upsetting. So yeah, Lex ends up setting fire to the children's wing of the hospital. Like, he is a total sociopath. And I just don't understand why they are so adamant about featuring this sociopath from week to week.
This man who literally like obliterates the concept of a strong woman and uses that to win a murder trial, and then kills the Padawans.
Right.
Or tries to, at least, multiple times. Like, what? Nobody cares.
Yeah. So, let's see. What else happened? Oh, Lena and Brainy talking about how much they hate Lex.
Okay, that is one of my favorite scenes in the history of this show. I loved it so bad.
Me too.
Yes, the next episode was so much better without Lex. That's actually in my notes. I truly, that scene where Lena's basically like, yeah, this boxes thing doesn't work because I tried it and then I tried to kill the world a little bit. I mean, she tried to fix it, but it didn't really work.
No.
But she did the opposite a little bit. And she was still working on her boxes though, because she was trying not to cry and say how much she missed Kara. She barely even mentioned Kara at all in that episode. She really only did when she said "me too" to Brainy. But I mean, Jesse Raff just acted the shit out of that scene.
Yeah, even earlier, like, he was ready to like break a TV. Like, his rage and hatred of Lex is deep.
Yes, he broke a keyboard in the last one, and in this one, he breaks an iPad.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: none of y'all have jobs. How are you replacing all this? Where does the income come from?
Right. But Brainy's like, what he's saying to Lena is just like how they can craft the perfect murder, and he's like planned this out.
He's so ready to kill him.
He talks about paralyzing him with like electrocution, and then Lena can choose how
slow.
Yeah, as long as it's slow. Like, that's all that. Then they can dismember the body, and he knows the planets that have atmospheres with the most pressure that'll like decompose carbon matter like in no time. So there's no chance of a resurrection. Like, he had, or decomposed carbon, he had that planned out. Like, that was detailed. That was crazy detailed. And like, if you hadn't been thinking about it, I don't think that you could like just off the cuff come up with dismemberment and multi-planet decomposition like that.
Yeah.
There's some thought into that.
In his defense, Lex deserves it. But I love that Lena was like, I already tried killing him. It didn't help me feel better.
Yeah. And I'm glad she like gave him the advice to like let it out and let it go.
And then he screams, I hate him and I miss her. And it was so fucking sad.
It was super sad. It has me like Brainy is so bent out of shape about Kara being gone. I feel like he is like right up there with Alex. I mean, I know they're all upset. I guess he probably blames himself a little bit because of things going awry with Lex.
Yeah, I also think it's like he is like everything about his life before he came back to like the present from the future where he lived was like in service of Kara, and that's like sort of how he got out of this like weird like murder bottle family that he was in. um and so I think he like already sort of like credited her with a lot of like his life and stuff like that, and then he actually got to come and be friends with her, and like you can tell how much he loves her because like I was rewatching some episodes recently, and like he came in and he saved her after her fight with Rain when she was in a coma, and then like talked to her about her mind palace, and then when she almost died from kryptonite, he was like, "If you're in your mind palace, tell Streaky I said hi." I was like, he's so sweet, and he loves her so much. Sweet, sweet, sweet Brainy.
Yeah. But he and Lena talk about how much they miss Kara, and that was cute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they have each other.
Me too, because they genuinely understand each other, which is nice.
Yeah. Do you have anything else for this episode?
No, that was everything in my notes.
I guess like the other thing is Lena leaves Luthor Corps.
Mm-hmm.
That's like she tells Lex that she does hate him, but she just loves herself more, which is an amazing line.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, Lena doesn't hate herself for once. Congratulations,
it's about time.
Lena. I know.
And she's not going to continue to do the back and forth with him, and he's really pissed about that.
Well, because that's really all that motivates him.
The competition
is like, yeah, the competition. So I'm sure he'll try some fuckery to try to get her back to fighting with him. But I appreciated her being like, the more I try to stop you. Ooh, Jamie says hello. Hello, Jamie. But yeah, Lena essentially being like, the more I try to make you better, the worse it makes me. So I gotta go. And fuck you, bye.
Right. And Leslie said Jesse Rath's acting is really, really good this season. And it is super good. I feel like when they kind of like let him do his thing, he always just blows me away.
Yeah, he's amazing. Do you have anything else, or you want to get into emails?
That was all I had. We can get into emails.
All right. Let me pull it up. I'm afraid to switch tabs because the last time I did it, the recording stopped. It was before we started, but I'm still afraid. So I'm going to do it on my phone.
No, it's totally fine. I have like 3 screens going here, so I'm going to figure it out. Yeah, on one of them.
Yes. Okay, so you want me to go ahead and start with Clara's?
Sure.
Okay. So here we have an email from Clara. And the title of this email is I Hate Him and I Miss Her, which is apt. And also just the theme of season 5.
Maybe season 6 at the rate we're going.
Correct. And like a little bit of season 4.
Yeah.
Anyways, hi super podcasters. Hello.
Hey.
I'm so fucking tired of Lex and I want him to die. Same with Brainy.
Yeah.
Yes, I chose to open this email with violence. That being said, I hope you are doing well and not consumed by hatred for this sleazy bald douche. Clara, I feel like many days you wake up and choose violence.
Yeah, it's one of the things we like about you.
I know, I truly love it. It's just so infuriating how the writers of the show can't seem to pick one thing and stick to it. It's not killing her brother that sent Lena spiraling, but years of abuse that culminated with the betrayal of the one person she thought she could really trust. Putting a bullet in her brother's chest was just icing on the cake. She would have lost her shit anyway. It's a poor explanation and an even poorer plot point. They're not even trying anymore. They just want Lex on the show. Well, I don't. I don't want him on the show anymore, taking valuable screen time away from characters I actually care about during the very last season. Preach.
Yes.
If Lena isn't going to kill him, I'll do it. Just give me a gun and portal me to Vancouver. It'll be done in a minute, and then we can move on to more important and interesting things, and not just get snippets of them hastily shoved in between the greater plot no one actually cares about.
Right.
Clara, you're starting to blur the line between fiction and reality with this flying to Vancouver thing, and I'm starting to be concerned that you might kill John Cryer, and he's fine, so please don't do that. Also, definitely don't do that, because we have read this on a recorded platform now, and people have seen it, so...
What were we thinking? Are we accomplices? No. This doesn't make us accomplices.
I don't think so, no, but I think it does definitely make us witnesses to this murder trial. Anyways.
We said I said that I like when she woke up angry. Are we aiders and abettors now? Leslie, hit me up in the chat.
No, because we didn't tell her to.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Leslie. We're clear.
Excellent. Not accomplices.
Not accomplices. Hashtag not accomplices. Clara says, because if there's something I have finally realized in this episode, it's that for several seasons now, the entire show has been revolving around small moments. They do one-on-one and emotional scenes very well. Like in this episode, Kelly and Alex, Lena and Brainy, and even Lena and Lex, I do hate you, I just love me more, breathe if you cried. Just kidding, I didn't cry. I only have one feeling. This didn't do it. Alex took that one feeling at the beginning of the episode.
Then you were all out.
I was all out for the week. I have lost my place. But a lot of the rest is so great, and it really shows now that Kara has been removed from the group. But the thing is, as much as I love these small scenes and moments, these 30-second long masterpieces, that's not enough to make a show or a story. You can't build everything on Katie McGraw letting out a single tear when the camera isn't fully facing her. That's true. That was a nice shot, though.
Mm-hmm.
And once the season is over, I'm not sure what kind of legacy will be left of Supergirl. On a side note, and now that everyone is thoroughly depressed because I can't help but spread misery, is it just me, or was this episode poorly edited? A lot of scenes seem to be very randomly cut with bits of dialogue that didn't properly stick together, and it made everything very weird. I didn't notice.
I didn't notice either, but I wonder if they're still trying to piece together things that from last season that they might not have been able to get to.
They very well might be. Ollie is here for anybody who's listening to this later.
If you hear Ollie at the beginning of every episode, this is him.
He's literally rubbing against my mic right now, but here's my boy. Yeah. Okay, now it's just tail and butthole. Let's go. There we go. Ollie, be decent. No. Okay, you have to go down now.
Thanks for stopping by, Ollie.
That's not going to last long. He'll be back. Thank you, Jamie. He is a cute cat. Okay, Clara says, I love Brady and Lena so much. Brady is the brother Lena deserves, and they work so well with each other. They're the ultimate team. The moments they shared this episode, and particularly their conversation about anger, about feeling it and letting it go, was so good that it almost made me forget how mad I am that Lena is never allowed to express any emotion. Years of abuse at the hands of her brother, and it's neatly repressed and packed away in little boxes that she unpacked off screen, apparently. But Brady works with him for half a season, and he gets to fully explode and be angry. Let me just go lie down for a minute so I don't get angry about it. It's a little bit funny, though, because the writers don't seem to realize it's much more suspicious for Lena to never talk about Kara and barely acknowledge that she's gone than it would be for her to plain and simple say she misses her best friend. They're gay. Kara and Lena really are the ultimate OTP of repressed emotions. Their couple therapy is going to be so sexy.
Oh, Clara.
She did make me feel a little inadequate, though, because she was casually saving the world typing away on her computer in the middle of complete chaos, while yesterday I received an email at work and read it 3 times without understanding a single word. That's more my style.
Yeah.
Clearly, some of us get left behind when talent and basic life skills were being distributed by Rao. Now, let's just sit back and think very, very hard. Didn't Kelly already live with Alex? Lesbians. They already live together.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
You go either way.
Could have fooled me. I honestly thought she kept her in a closet in her apartment and only took her out for 30-second scenes here and there.
Oh, poor Kelly.
Jokes aside, I adored all their scenes in this episode. They are such a healthy couple, and it's exactly the kind of representation we need to see on TV. Not everything has to be dramatic and painful, and sometimes what's good is 2 other people who just love each other and tell each other exactly that. Though I do have to say Kelly's reaction when Alex asked her to move in was hilarious. Seeing the look on her face, you'd think Alex asked her to marry her, and it was extremely funny. Catch them randomly wearing engagement rings next season because they got engaged off screen.
Oh, sad.
I know. I understand how they're going to make Kelly guardian, and I hope the transition will continue to happen smoothly. LOL, we know that's not going to be the case. The kind of hopelessness she felt and expressed this episode is exactly what led James down this path. I hope Alex will be supportive, because if there is unnecessary and hypocritical drama, I will murder someone. I really do hope we get a little more of Kelly, because she isn't just everyone's therapist and the wholesome girlfriend. Pre-crisis, she was ex-military and had PTSD, and now she's kind of one-dimensional and bland. I love her, I really do, but they need to shape her more, explore her anxieties and her past, and I want to know what she thinks about Alex being a reckless vigilante when she already lost someone to war. These are all great points.
They are.
Yeah. I already love Nixley, and I hope she's a true ally. Spoilers. But I don't know how I feel about introducing yet another character in the last season of the show that is already overcrowded. She doesn't feel as fake and one-dimensional as Zorel, which is kind of funny because we've only just met her, when technically speaking, we've known Kara's dad since season 1. Speaking of season 1 and parental units, was it ever mentioned before that Alora is the one who created the Phantom Zone, or is this truly new information? It seems like new information, and also, if it is true, like, we gotta go to Argo and have a talk, because, girl.
Right? I mean, I don't know that they've outright said she created it, but, like,
she at least helped construct it.
Yeah, everybody that populates it, she contributed to that a lot.
Well, and she's the one that, like, built the way in and out, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Jamie says I could get so much more into dancing, but they barely give Kelly screen time, so it makes it hard for me to get behind Kelly and Alex. Yeah. And Leslie says no, Alora did not create the Phantom Zone. So at least she has that going for her.
Right. All made up.
Right.
Lies.
Because of Kara's mother was responsible for building the place in which she was stuck for 24 years, or almost a decade, depending on which writer you ask. One would think that Kara would be a little more mad at her for that. Though I do agree that for this to happen, she would have to not be so emotionally stunted. One can hope, right? After all, this is supposed to be the motto of this show. Erosh Bem. Thank you, Clara.
It's Clara.
Leslie says Alora created Fort Rods as a prisoner ship, which was in the Phantom Zone. Yes, but somehow now has constructed the entryways and exitways to the Phantom Zone.
Just that anchor. I mean, I guess because that anchor was attached to Fort Roz.
Yeah, that might be it.
I don't know. All right. So our next email is from Daryl, and Daryl says, "I don't like seeing Alex like this. The sooner Kara comes back, the better. This show is doing a disservice by having Alex freeze up during a fight. This is not our Alex. In fact, this show has done so much for all these characters to be so unemotional and together that when they fall apart, I don't recognize them at all. I'm not even sure Lex did anything truly bad enough to Brainy to get that reaction from him. They so rarely mention him not having the inhibitors anymore. His outburst just freaked me out. It was it was a lot. I mean, that was like, he is truly full of rage about this. And the way I look at it is maybe he just had to like hold it together so much so that Lex didn't suspect him. Like, it goes back to that little boxes thing. Like, he just held it in, and now it's just like everything has gone so wrong, and he's just losing it. Daryl goes on to say, "Why is Jean referring to Silas as human? He says they didn't know the Phantoms could possess a human, but Silas is an alien." That's true. Well, I mean, technically, like, to Jean, humans are aliens, right? I don't know. Anyway, sorry. I'm reading too deep into this. This is
It's just bad writing.
Yeah. This is exactly the problem you run into when you have a different writer. There you go, Daryl. Every week, but simply put, this kind of mistake shouldn't happen. Kara's monologue to her new imp friend felt so much like her opening. It's like they knew how much we prefer having it open the show.
Well, good news, it comes back.
Leslie says Silas is a humanoid.
Technically, so is Kara.
It's true. I really could have done without Soldier Jean. It really was a waste of screen time to just bring him back to who he should be, to who he was just last week. There was no reason to talk down to Magon like that. I feel like, yeah, I don't think so either, but I feel like Magon was just like, you need to be a soldier, and then this week she was just like, you need to like be in touch with your emotions. She was kind of giving mixed signals a little bit, I felt. Lex doing an interview with Catco just proves they are truly the only news media outlet on this new Earth in National City. And I can't. Yeah, it was this episode because it was about the Children's Hospital. I think the Galaxy Gazette was mentioned. Yeah. That was new. I don't remember like ever seeing that in the comics, but. Hey, Kara, your father and your mother sent you. Don't discount your mother's contribution. Also, she is showing more emotion in the scene where she is talking to her new imp friend than in any scene last week with her father.
I think he's real at this point, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's not.
Yeah, I think he's real because somebody else is interacting. Well, multiple people interacted with him.
Nixley would have to also be fake.
Yeah, which I don't think.
I don't think she is. Yeah.
Lena really shouldn't be surprised at the levels Lex will go to. Also, it is far past time for her to realize boxes don't work. Where is Kelly when you need her? She's moving to Alex's place.
She's packing up her own boxes.
Yep. Good one. And how much bigger does Jean make the tower? Because this show is just throwing any realistic kind of real estate improvement out the window. They better never do an outside shot of the building, or they might really have to answer how is Jean doing all this.
I know. You know, they're when they do those scenes out on the balcony, it looks so much like a soundstage. Like, It looks like a high school production of Romeo and Juliet.
I think the same thing every time I see it. It looks like the Romeo and Juliet balcony scene.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I can think for Nicole being gone this week is that they didn't have the budget to show Dreamer's powers. And that is just unfair to the actress to cut her out entirely for that reason, if that is in fact the reason. And then Daryl also questions, Laura built the Phantom Zone? No.
No, they just...
You were right to question it, and it did not happen. It really bothers me that they didn't think they had the time to have Alex tell Kelly the truth last week, but they had the time to have Alex ask Kelly to move in. I'm grateful we got something on screen though. Like I don't want to like discount that.
Yeah, it's so rare.
Yeah, so I'm pretty thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. Thanks, Daryl.
Thank you, Daryl.
I can go ahead and read Writerbot too if you want.
Yeah, go for
it's super short. Writerbot wrote to us, hello. Who would have ever imagined we would see Lena Luthor being the emotionally healthy super friend? Love to see it. Sincerely, Writerbot. I'm glad you took the time to just write in and say that because I feel the same way.
Yeah, 100%.
She needs to get her mental health in check. And I hope it really happens for her this season. And there was an interview with Katie by TV Guide, and she kind of said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she wants for Lena this season.
Thank you, Writerbot.
Yep.
Okay, our next email is from Leslie, who is here. So allow me to read to you about you, Leslie. Okay, feedback on Phantom Menaces. Leslie says, I cannot wait until Supergirl is out of the Phantom Zone so that the show can return to focusing on her. There was no development in Supergirl's story this episode. She did not even have one conversation with her father, Zor-El. Alex could have had more Kara flashbacks other than lightning speed flashes to the season 4 premiere, which were very reminiscent of the flashes that she had when she was remembering everything at the end of season 4. That's what that made me think of.
Yeah.
Nixley had a story, but not Supergirl. Supergirl should not have been so trusting of Nixley. Yes, we find that out later. I certainly hope that Nixley is not just using Supergirl and Zor-El to escape the Phantom Zone so that she can wreak havoc on Earth. Leslie, I'm so sorry. I have bad news for you.
Leslie's so intuitive when it comes to this stuff. I feel like she knows what's happening before it actually happens. And I don't catch any of this. I'm so bad about it.
I do appreciate Supergirl being true to her nature to persevere despite an injured leg and inspiring Nixley to believe in herself. Yeah, Kara was trying so hard to walk on that broken leg, and let me tell you, that's a mistake.
Yeah, don't do it.
Although, in both episodes, Nixley has mentioned how injuries don't heal at all in the Phantom Zone, and the more she mentions it, the more nervous I become. Okay. I understand that the Left Behind Super Friends needed to work on the Phantom's imminent threat, but I still needed this episode to tell me how the Super Friends planned to rescue Supergirl. I don't think they had any idea.
No.
This episode was all about the emotional scenes between Kelly and Alex, and Lena and Brainy. Oh, Jamie has to go. Bye, Jamie. Thank you for coming.
Hey, Jamie. Thanks for stopping by.
With the latter one being surprisingly cathartic, especially when Brainy broke down and screamed that he hated Lex. I hate Lex as an ever-present character on Supergirl too, Brainy. I miss Supergirl as well, but the showrunners have decided that Supergirl fans are to be given more and more Lex whether we like it or not, or whether it makes sense or not. Yeah, I truly feel like our fate has been determined.
I just don't get it. I'll never understand it.
I actually just literally 2 seconds ago saw a tweet from John Cryer responding to somebody, and I didn't see the first tweet, but he basically said the show isn't about Lex and shouldn't be, and also you might be pleasantly surprised with how long it takes him to come back. So At least he knows.
Yeah.
I'm happy that Alex was not drinking alcohol when she had her breakdown. Alex's out of control drinking was getting old. True, but Lena's is the same. And now they're together all the time and can drink together all the time.
Yeah, they're all about the scotch, so
yeah, it's not great. By the way, that obvious and oversized wig that Melissa was wearing in the hologram was terrible. It's so bad. And you know it's because they had her film it all like at one time. But like it's so terrible.
Yeah, it is awful. Shay even noticed. She was just like, is she wearing a wig? And I was just like, yes, and it ruins it.
I also thinking about the wig makes me wonder, since it's literally been like 2 days, what happened to her bangs? The Phantom Zone eats bangs.
I don't know. I am willing to just like let that one slide because I don't want to see the wig.
Yeah, right. I know. At least there were some special effects for whatever Jean was doing with Magon and pulling the Phantoms into the portal and then into their containment cell. The show is so unbelievable, with the tower having all of these different levels, switches, and equipment without once telling us how Jean could transform the tower into a DEO-like facility. The show is desperately trying to get somewhere, and it is taking shortcuts to get to the main point of the 6th season. This is true.
Yeah.
I could not follow the technobabble regarding the inhibitor that Brainy was supposed to build, but he never got around to doing it. I had no idea what purpose the circular device was on the wall served. Or the circular device that was on the wall served. I also did not understand Jean's comments that Martians were susceptible to the Phantoms. Was that why Magon disobeyed Jean's orders? And why is Jean issuing orders anyway? He is not DEO director, and Magon is his sort of girlfriend, not his subordinate. Yeah, he might have a complex.
Stuck in that role, like, if we're going to be soldiers, like, I lead everybody. That's how I think of Jean.
Yeah. There should be a drinking game, not only for the word power, but how many times Jean says soldiering or marching. I noticed that too. Jean's dialogue.
I'm such a lightweight, like I wouldn't remember most of the episodes.
You'd be done by minute 5.
I would be. It would be terrible.
I know. Jean's dialogue surrounding soldiering and marching is stilted and stiff. At times, Jean has been rude, not only to Silas in the previous episode, but now to Magon. In prior seasons, Jean was a compassionate and empathetic character. This season, Jean is curt and offensive. It is nice that Alex asked Kelly to move in with her, but are they going to get her a bigger apartment? Alex has a tiny ass apartment.
She makes it work though.
I know, I like it. It seems like it fits Alex.
It's a studio, right? Technically.
Uh-huh.
Because the bed's in the living room.
Technically, but it's huge.
Yeah, she has room to put up like barriers and such.
I did not like Kelly feeling sorry for herself because she allegedly did not help with the Phantom fight at the tower. Kelly helped, she's just not a superhero. Kelly's assessment that she did not help will undoubtedly prompt her to take up the Guardian mantle. I agree.
Me too.
I do not have a problem with Kelly using the Guardian shield. A lot of falling debris gets thrown around when the superheroes are saving the day in National City. I do, however, have problems with Kelly taking on Guardian as her alter ego, given the way Kelly's character was previously written. In seasons 4 and 5, Kelly was supposed to have PTSD because her fiancé was killed overseas. Consequently, when Kelly saw Alex almost get injured in Dangerous Liaisons, Kelly was upset. She then tried in Tremors to either get Alex to change or break up with her. That Kelly had PTSD and did those things is now all but forgotten in the latter portion of Season 5 and the beginning of Season 6. Kelly has encouraged Alex to become a vigilante with a disguise. Yes, it's very confusing.
Yeah.
Given Kelly's initial backstory, I am now supposed to believe Kelly will become Guardian. The changes in her character are too abrupt. Did John and Brainy dig out the equipment and weapons that were in the old DEO building? The weapon Brainy used was first seen in Crossfire, where Lillian gave alien weapons to criminals. They must have. Contrary to Alexa's statements to Lena, district attorneys do not issue court orders. The court issues an order after an application is made to the court requesting relief. District attorneys in National City, California, who have been elected, cannot be fired. They either resign or are recalled and removed. That's what I thought too. That was very confusing.
Yeah, I didn't understand why they were talking about her being fired or like let go or whatever.
Yeah. Once again, the writers and showrunners have forgotten the show's history and have confused and conflated Fort Ross with the Phantom Zone. Alora was an attorney who acted like a prosecutor, judge, and jury and sentenced people to Fort Ross, not the Phantom Zone. Instead of Supergirl saying Alora created the Phantom Zone, why not just have Supergirl say that she heard Jor-El, her uncle, talking about the Phantom Zone? That makes sense too, because Fort Ross was in the Phantom Zone, but like one would assume that they were protected from the Phantoms because they were inside Fort Ross.
Right.
Overall, this episode was just okay for me. The emotional scenes were great, but I am disappointed in the lack of any development on Supergirl's story in the Phantom Zone. Have a fantastic podcast. Thanks. Yeah, I agree. This episode was a big step up from episode 2 for me, but overall not super great. But still a lot better. I enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot more. And I think it was because even though Lex was in it a little bit, he wasn't in it a lot. But you also got to see like more of what each super friend was feeling. So I think that that helped for me.
Yeah, I agree. So that's all our feedback. You want to get into the next one?
Yeah. So let's go to 304 and let's see. I'm sorry, 604. And 604 was Lost Souls. And the official summary reads, Supergirl finds an opportunity to escape from the Phantom Zone, but it comes with some dangerous strings attached. Meanwhile, Lena joins the Super Friends on a mission, but finds she disagrees with their plan of action against the Phantoms and wonders if she is truly ready to be a part of the team.
I mean, that part was like 4 seconds long, but that's okay. I was scared based on that synopsis that like they weren't going to be super receptive to having Lena or whatever, but that was not true. So thank Christ.
Yeah, I'm glad that didn't. I'm glad they didn't drag it out because I could totally see that happening. Like, will she stay? Won't she stay?
They don't like her, whatever.
Right. I'm glad, like, we're hopefully, fingers crossed, past that.
Yeah, I think we are. There was a lot of Lena in this episode, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, and she was a really different Lena.
She was like happy and excited and like open with her feelings.
Yeah, it's like somebody moved her inhibitors.
Like, I know, truly.
Was Luthor Core her inhibitor?
Her inhibitor? She must have, yeah.
I mean, it was just, but it was refreshing. It was great to see, and it made it more enjoyable.
Yeah,
for me to like. I hate like when they had Lena like trying to be like backhanded and shady, and I just can't handle that stuff. So this was way better for me. And she seemed like so innocent almost. Like it was just a totally different Lena.
I truly loved, first of all, her first scene where she came in and Nia was giving her a tour of the tower. And Brainy was so excited to have her there that he was just like rolling in his chair everywhere. And then she had stayed up all night to merge two like pieces of technology together to help fight the Phantoms. And I love the little banter where Brainy was like, oh, just like Ghostbusters. And she was like, as if for Ghostbusters is a movie. Brainy was like, the perfect movie. And she goes, the proto trap is real. And he was just like, okay. It was so cute. And we could have had this so much.
I know. I love their banter. And That does look like a proton pack from Ghostbusters.
It really does.
And that crystal, like that tracker at the end, it looks like a PKE meter. Like there were so many things that it's just like very close to Ghostbusters. And like, I know we weren't talking about this, but now that I'm on it, like I'm just gonna go ahead and plow through it. But even like the phantoms themselves, like being drawn, it's like Harry Potter. That's like Horcruxes. It's like they took from like so many movies to make this one episode or these couple of episodes. But yeah, that really does look like a proton pack. Brady is not wrong.
He's correct. And it is a perfect movie, except for when I think about Ghostbusters, it's not the one that they're talking about.
You know, even the original, like, this is a very unpopular opinion that I'm about to lay out there. I like Ghostbusters 2 better.
Me too. Oh,
really?
The original?
Yeah.
I have never seen an original Ghostbuster.
Oh, okay.
I have only seen the 2015 one. 2016? 2016.
2016. Yeah, no, that one's amazing. That's my favorite. But I mean, out of the original, I like Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah. Maddie hasn't seen any of them, but I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not marrying you before you've seen the Lady Ghostbusters.
I mean, that's even on TV now, so like...
I know. I also own it, so
yeah,
we're watching it too.
Oh, Maddie.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about a thing that you have.
Well, the whole like Lena thing, that was like probably my main thing. Something that was just like at the beginning of the show that was just very funny to me was just Nixley saying to Zor-El, "Don't be such a killjoy, Papa L."
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why it made me laugh really hard.
She is really funny, and she hates him, which is fine with me because I don't particularly like him either.
Yeah, I think she's like reading that vibe right, and she should like go with her gut. And such like a be downer, like he's so negative, and maybe it's because the Phantoms have like sucked all the joy and spirit out of him. I don't know, but yeah,
I don't know because before, because Zor-El is a whip. That's what Leslie says.
Yeah, he's kind of a punk about everything.
Well, even before he got blown up into the Phantom Zone, I guess he created that alien virus to kill everyone except for Kryptonians. Like, he's a punk.
Yeah, he really is.
He's a punk. He and Alora, punks. You heard it here.
Total punk. Thank you, Leslie. I get why like Kara is like super excited to see him, and
well, yeah, it's your dead parents.
Yeah. Except they're not. And that like is a whole other thing. Like I kind of, I don't know how I feel. Like it changes the whole vibe. Like her thing was just like she lost everything. But it turns out like she's lost nothing because her city, her parents, like everybody's still kicking.
Yeah. I mean, I guess she still lost them because she was without them, but not forever.
Right. So it turns out Nixley finds the anchor, and they're all there because of this mirror that the guards of Fort Ross use to get in and out of the fan zone. And when they get there, the original mirror is broken. It was something interesting Zor-El said, is that only the righteous can activate it. And he told Kara to go ahead, so maybe, I don't know if he's taken into account, like you said, like the virus that he created. And obviously, like, Nixley couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I like that. Yeah, Nixley couldn't do it, but then later, I think when she was supposed to like fix Zarel's leg, even though she's the one that broke it. She's just like pretending that her magic wasn't working. I was like, you are a sneaky little bean.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of disappointed. Like, I wanted Nixley to be like on the up and up, and she's just not. She really
Yeah,
isn't.
I thought her turn from like, I kind of understand why she wanted to leave Zarel behind, because like he had already tried to give up, like he wasn't going to fight hard enough. They had their opportunity to leave. She didn't trust that he was going to help them with that. I get that. Not that I think that that would have been the right thing to do, but I understand. But then she made a quick turn into, I should have killed him when I had the chance. And now that you're arguing with me, I'm going to just pop over to Earth and fuck things up on my way back to the fifth dimension. I was like, you really escalated.
Yeah, she went from 0 to 100% baddie like
very fast.
instantly. Which I didn't like. I didn't care for that. Like, it kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Shay questioned her the whole time. She was just like, is she going to like screw them over? And I was just like, I'm just like, yes.
I figured there was something going on, but like the reasoning behind her screwing them over didn't make any sense to me.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, but I mean, the Phantom Zone stuff, there wasn't that much of it.
It turns out Alora built a second mirror. Mm-hmm. So Zorel remembered that after he stopped trying to give up for 2 seconds. So them going to find the second mirror. Nixley was the one who was just like, it has to be in those other, like the barracks or whatever. And then Kara felt bad later because she's the one who said for them to split up, and that's when Zorel got attacked.
By Nixley.
Yeah. But he didn't know it was her.
No, he didn't. But when they did that like little bit of exposition where they were like, oh yeah, that guy with the scar followed me, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is so stupid. But then it made a lot. I was like, I'm pretty sure it was Nixley though, and then later she confirmed it, and I was like, okay, that makes more sense why you would just like say out loud the drama that happened instead of showing it.
Right. But yeah, so Nixley shows her true colors to Kara, and to save Earth, even while she is not on it, Kara sacrifices her only chance that she knows of to get out of the Phantom Zone by breaking that mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were fighting each other, they initiated a self-destruct sequence, and it's not going to kill Nixley. Like,
there's no way.
Yeah, she's going to survive it. Like when
I'm
sure
Kara
had that
down to there.
Possibly. Or when, I don't know if they can be harmed in that way.
Yeah, because she said, like, that's not going to hurt me.
Right. So, I don't know why she would have jeopardized. Like, if she's been there that long, why did she jeopardize her chance to get out by, like, showing her true colors right before she was able to get out?
That's a very bad idea. Like, she could have just popped through that portal. Like, it was open for her.
It was like she was just itching to, like, be bad.
Right, because she didn't have to say, like, I'm not coming with you or whatever. She could have just hopped in.
Right, exactly.
Then Kara would have been like, well, shit. Yeah, that was odd. But now Kara is alone in the Phantom Zone. Because Zarel's still there, but he's barricaded back. And she has to go back and get him, I guess. So she's alone without anybody who has magic. So maybe we'll actually see some of the drama. Leslie says Nixley jeopardized her escape by attacking Zarel. If she had left him alone, she would have escaped. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, he is a downer, but, like, it's still worth, like, getting out of there.
Right.
Just leave him be. Let's see. That was kind of it for the Phantom Zone. I feel like there wasn't. I don't have a lot on this episode. I feel like things happened, but it was all like more. It was more like emotional stuff, like character building.
Yeah. The only other big thing was Alex and Lena, which we can talk about in a minute. But then, like, Magan could sense the phantoms and could track anybody she wanted in the Phantom Zone, so that was going to help them track Kara, although ultimately that didn't work. And then Nia kept having flashbacks of, like, Midvale.
Right.
And didn't know what it meant, but those weren't huge. I mean, that'll be big in the next two.
Leslie made a good point over here. She says this makes me think Nixley created Zor-El. That is a good point. Like, getting rid of what you created is like a distraction.
Yeah. I just wonder what would have been the point of that. I mean, maybe to motivate Kara, but Kara's pretty motivated by herself.
Yeah.
Maybe to motivate Kara to trust Nixley, like by creating Zor-El and putting him in fake danger. Kara then needed to trust somebody to help him.
Right.
So that's why she trusted Nixley, maybe. Because otherwise Kara would have just figured it out herself.
That's true. And Leslie says that this episode was only 38 minutes long. And I was talking to Aaron about that before we started. Like, I feel ripped off a little bit.
Yeah, especially when they said, like, 2 episodes ago they couldn't spare the time to, like, show the scene where Kelly finds out that Kara is Supergirl. It's like, y'all write what you want. Like, you put in what you want. That's clear, because you can also give us 38-minute episodes.
Yeah, that's garbage.
Yeah.
But back to what you were saying. So yeah, Magan's 18% Phantom. And they want to use her to find the souls, like, of the Phantom Prime's lair, and also use her to find Kara eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And Lena's all about that. Like, Lena's so psyched to bring Kara home.
She's the cutest in this episode. She's so excited when she's like, we're gonna bring Kara home, and her smile is bigger than Alex's.
Yeah.
And then, like, when she figures out a way to, like, make the tracker, and she's all, like, bouncy, like, we're gonna go get my life. Like,
I also liked how Lena backed Alex up. Like,
yeah,
Alex is trying to keep up, like, the hope and everything that they're gonna find Kara, and everybody's just like boo on that, and Lena's like, no, we totally can. So they're lifting some DNA out of that crystal that Kara left.
Yeah, that was weird and inconsistent. That's one of the things in my note. I was like, so they need Kara's DNA to track her in the Phantom Zone, which apparently is fine from Alex getting her life force from the crystals, ? But once that's not usable anymore, now they have to go back in time to when Kara apparently solar flared in high school, which apparently was due to kryptonite, even though in season 1 she said she didn't even know kryptonite was a thing. But then season 4, she said she was dealing with kryptonite for 15 years. So I think it's just bad writing that they might blame on Crisis, or just forget that they did it at all. But it doesn't make any sense. And also, like, Lena says, or you can get Kryptonian DNA with, like, kryptonite poisoning. And I guess, like, because Lex was never bad on this Earth, she wouldn't have been kryptonite poisoned by, like, when the air was irradiated in season 4. But there were still other un-Lex related times. Like, why do they have to go all the way back? Why can't they go back to like Red Tornado? Did that not happen on this Earth? Like, what is?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
because, also, like, has she not lost a single hair on Earth? Like,
that's what I was thinking too. But
super
like,
strong hair follicles.
Maybe DNA isn't in Kryptonian hair follicles. Like that was
right. Like,
could be different.
You're right, Leslie. The show is all about the discontinuity. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It doesn't. It makes zero sense.
I also, somebody looked up on Twitter.
That's true.
I remember.
Alex mentioned Red Tornado.
Yeah. I wish I could remember who said it, but somebody said that, like, they looked it up. There's like 7. It might even be like 17. But it was a bunch of people credited on Supergirl as continuity writers. And I was like, what are y'all doing?
No, that can't be real. Is it real?
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
That can't be right. Wow. I hope it's not real.
I mean, they must have a mini fridge with a lot of hard liquor in their office if there are.
Yeah.
Because they do not know what they're doing. But that part was so, like, all of it. Their explanation for having to go to Midvale in the past, and just their explanation for, like, having to use the crystal and stuff like that. Like, the DNA thing made no sense.
I wonder, like, if they picked the back in time only because it would be like they'd be the least likely to disrupt like the time continuum.
Right.
I'm really like giving them a lot of credit to like think this through in this way.
I mean, I know
it looks like they're sending Brainy and Nia, so
yeah,
Kara and Alex wouldn't recognize them at that point.
I wonder if now, though, like, Alex and Kara are gonna have memories of Nia and Brainy having always been their friends. But I mean, I know it's because they had to do a couple episodes without Melissa Benoist at all, and then Kyler Lee directed the second Midvale episode, which will be episode 6. So, like, I know that going to Midvale, and because everybody loves the Midvale episodes, like, that is why they're going back to Midvale. But on the show, I don't think they did a very good job of explaining why they had to do that.
Right.
Because there's a lot of easier options. And like you said, they could explain it, but they didn't.
Right.
Kara and Alex, Leslie says, why would Kara and Alex remember Brainy and Nia? They wouldn't now. But if they go back into the past and interact with them, will they then after that?
They would have to.
Right, because Nia and Brainy were never part of their lives before, but they will be now. So it'll be interesting to see.
Like, as soon as they go back in time, that's now an alternate reality. The future is different than when they left.
Mm-hmm.
And Leslie said those continuity writers must be drinking some good scotch. That's why they know so much about scotch.
Right, they know a lot about scotch and nothing about Supergirl.
Right?
Yeah. Let's talk about Alex and Lena being cute science friends.
Yeah, building that tracker to bring Kara home. They had really good scenes together. You could tell that, like, they're repairing their relationship as well. And I'm here for it. Like, I'm all about it.
Yeah, I was glad that they could jump back into that so quickly after, like, they were not getting along in Crisis. Like, and then they never, ever, like, really got to interact again. I mean, a little bit, maybe once Lena in the, like, finale was working with Kara again, but only a tiny bit. If I don't even know if they exchanged words. They both said the same line to Kara at the same time, but I don't know if they physically had a conversation. Leslie, correct me if I'm wrong. But I love how quickly they jumped right back in. I love how quickly all of them jumped right back into, like, Yeah, Lena, we fucked up. You fucked up. We all get it. Let's move on.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad they're like trying to not drag things out. It's
Yeah.
nice. It's a nice change of pace for them.
Yeah, I enjoyed the scene where Alex was gonna give Lena the memory crystal. This is not what I was about to talk about, but we'll talk about it. And when Lena was like, but then that'll break the crystal, you won't ever be able to watch his memories again. And Alex like put it in her hand and like held her hand and was like, I trust you. And I was like,
Yeah.
But anyways, what I was gonna actually say was I loved it when Alex or Lena was like, I'll let you know when I have this done. And Alex was like, I'm going to stay. And at first, it looked like in Lena's face that she was like, oh, do you not actually trust me? Like, you can't leave me alone. But then Alex says, I would like to help. And you can see it register on Lena's face like, oh, she wants to help me with science.
Right.
Which is just so cute. Like, she trusts me. She also wants to help me. Okay, Leslie says the Super Friends, including Alex, talk to Lena at Kara's apartment at the beginning of a Mortal Kombat. Yeah, but I think this is our first one-on-one scene. Scenes.
Yeah, we got multiple, which was nice.
Yeah, which is great because we never got a lot of solo Alex and Lena anyway, even before season 5. So this is good because those are two of my favorite characters of all time.
Just when they were working together at the DEO on something really.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they had some good ones at the end of season 4.
Yeah. So they have to change their plans like mid-stride and not use the tracker that Lena built. They need to reprogram it so it finds the chrysalis instead. I felt so bad for like everybody in that scene where Alex is asking or like talking to Lena about it, like saying this is what we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lena like being like, you can't, like I have to bring Kara home.
That was so sad.
It was. She feels really guilty about it. Like she blames herself. Her and Brainy, man, therapy. Seriously.
I know.
But yeah, I just feel I felt really bad for her. And I get why she would be like, I feel like she's in it because I mean, she definitely wants to help, but she really wants to bring Kara home, and they had a way to do it, and now they're just like, screw it, we have to do this other thing. And I get why she was just like, no, we have to do this.
Yeah, and she's still blaming herself so hardcore for all the Lex stuff, and therefore Kara going in the Phantom Zone. Like, it's so sad. But my only qualm with this episode, besides the DNA stuff, which is just silly, was Alex did a really good job of explaining to her why they couldn't rescue Kara right now. And even with Kara, when she was like, what do you think Kara would say if thousands or hundreds of thousands of people died just so that we could have her back? Like, that's a very compelling argument.
True.
And she didn't even give Lena time to think it over. She was just like, I'm sorry, I need you to give that to me. And like, I feel like Lena might have. I know she said at the end that she couldn't have, but she didn't get a chance to think it over. Alex just stole it.
Yeah.
I wish she had taken at least another like couple seconds, or if Lena said like, I'm sorry, I can't, like, then take it. But like, her just summoning it made me be like, dude, just give her a second.
Right.
Don't just assume that she's not gonna help. But Lena forgave that real quick, so
yeah, she got it. Like, she at the end she said she understood, so that's good.
Yeah, and the end scene was really cute when Lena was like, I could never have sacrificed Kara for this, which, interesting parallel between what Clark said to Kara at the end of season 2 when he was like, I never could have sacrificed Mon-El for or Lois in the place of Mon-El for the world like you did with Monel, and that's essentially the exact same thing that Kara just said, or that Lena just said about Kara. And
Right.
like Kara also, when she was trying to save the plane with the chemicals in it, and Lena, like she was gonna save Lena. And I was like, this. Do you see what you have done?
They
do you
don't.
know that you have done this? I think they do.
They might. They probably do. You're probably right. I'm giving them too much credit.
I mean, I fully think they're queer baiting. But yeah, I just, when Lena was saying like, because I couldn't give Kara up like you all could have, and you did, like we all think differently, I don't think I could be part of this team. Alex was like, fuck that, nope, you're staying. And it was great.
Right. Alex's speech at the end to Lena, like about how she belongs. I think Lena really needed to hear that, and
I think
I'm
it's
glad
probably
it came
the first
from
time
Alex.
she heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. Nobody, I mean, Kara made her feel that way, but not in seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really sweet, and I'm glad she's sticking around.
Me
too. But they used the tracker that Lena made, and they bust the chrysalis, and everybody gets their souls back, and they capture Phantom Prime and hold him in a cell. That was a decent scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like how they were going through and made that happen. I liked Nia's dream energy tunnel.
Yeah, that was cool.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Leslie is talking about how Alex and Lena both abuse alcohol. 100%.
So
1,000%. They should address that.
I mean, my God, Lena was at Catco at like 10 a.m. drinking scotch with Andrea, and like everybody was just like, it's no biggie. Like there is no qualms about it.
Which is interesting because you've mentioned before, Shelley, how Callista Flockhart would like do M&Ms instead.
Yeah. And they did
supposed
that
to teach the kids that misogyny is bad and scotch is not a good way to solve your problems. But I think
or start your day.
Right. I think they forgot that the show is about teaching little kids lessons.
Right.
Yeah, I agree, Leslie. I don't think the drinking scenes are appropriate for the show. Like, they can show drinking, but like, not every time anybody has a like emotional problem.
Right, because there's young people watching the show. I told you, like, I told my supervisor, like, to have his daughter, who's like 8 or 9 years old, to watch it. And I mean, his son's a little bit older. He's like 12, but still, it's not something that you want. Like, this could be like a good superhero show for kids. And it's not the example you want to set.
Yeah.
And I feel like CBS or Callista Flockhart was more cognizant of that than what we've seen here in the latter seasons.
Mm-hmm. Leslie says, I don't even know why Kara drinks since she can't get drunk. Why not have some good non-alcoholic drinks like lemonade, sweet tea, etc.? It's a good point. I think she does it to feel like she fits in. Which is another that's a whole other issue.
That is a whole other issue.
It doesn't make it any better. I tried to give him it out, but it didn't work. Yeah.
And I know, like, people are upset that this show exists, but I watch Superman and Lois, and I like it. I enjoy it. I have never seen a show where the adults drink so much as I don't know where they buy all the wine that is on Superman and Lois. It's like they don't drink anything else. It is red wine all the time. It's insane. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, that is all that Clark and Lois drinks. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on with their kids, but like, they need to slow down. And like one of the stories in that show is just like this dad's an alcoholic, not Clark, but like another dad in Smallville. And I'm just thinking like you all are functioning alcoholics, like truly. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is with these CW shows.
Yeah. The only other show I can think of where they probably drink more is Winona Earp, because she's literally never not drinking whiskey.
Right, but I mean,
but nobody's
that's on,
pretending
like,
that she's a good role model.
exactly. That show is not meant to be for kids. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Mick Rory on Legends of Tomorrow, but again, he is explicitly not a good role model. Like,
Yeah, and I feel like the show closest to Supergirl would be The Flash as far as like kid friendly. I don't feel like Arrow definitely was not kid friendly, and
no, God, no.
Legends of Tomorrow like really toes the line, and I would go as far as to say I don't think it's very kid friendly at all. I just keep thinking of the scene where Gary lost his nipple. Like, there's just like a lot of blood and things going on.
And we know for very sure that woman's not kid friendly.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even go in there. Like,
It's
we
not
know
even
that.
Shelly friendly.
No, my God, no.
Leslie says Cara and Alex both, or Cara and Eliza both know Alex has a problem with alcohol. Yes, see the Thanksgiving episodes. This is, yeah. And every viewer knows that Alex and Lena both abuse alcohol, and here they are abusing it together.
Yeah, Jean, that was like part of the reason Jean went after Alex is because she was like on a 24/7 bender for like years.
Right, and I think both, like, when Jeremiah was revealed to be bad or part of Cadmus, Alex was getting hardcore drunk, and Maggie took the bottle away from her. Like, you could tell that Maggie also thought that she had a coping issue. And then I think when Jeremiah died, Kelly said something. So yeah, Jean found Alex drying out in a cell. But I think he was watching her the whole time. But like, I'm pretty sure Kelly mentioned it too. Like, everybody knows. Like, someone step in, please.
Right.
Your liver's not going to be 30 for long, Alex.
No. And I do. Leslie also mentioned that Winona was drinking while pregnant. That is accurate.
True.
Terrible, but kind of on show.
I think she stopped after she knew, because that was a passing comment that she made. And anyways, yes, Alex was going to try to drive drunk. Yeah, she got a problem. She has a problem.
She has a problem for sure.
She has a problem. Yeah.
At least Lena has Frank. I mean, to drive her around. Or she
is
did.
that his actual name, or is that just from fan fiction?
No, I think. Oh, I get all the seasons.
I mean, I don't know.
She mentioned him when she threw James out of the car.
Okay. I knew that was his name in all the fanfic. I just didn't remember if.
Yeah.
When Alex was searching the internet about adoption, she looked at her wine glass and put it down. Okay, it is Frank. Okay, so Alex knows she has a problem. Intervention time, friends.
Right?
Intervention time. Yeah. So that's when Alex is an alcoholic corner.
Yeah. And it's so sad how in depth we could go with that.
I mean, she's been an alcoholic since season 1. We even knew this. Like,
yeah. That's sad.
Yeah.
It's good that Kelly's moving in.
Yeah, Kelly, please, for the love of God.
Get those bottles out of there.
Alex needs to embrace sobriety. Maybe Kelly can help her with that. I agree. She Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Was there anything else to talk about?
Alex usually gets drunk at Thanksgiving. To be fair, I usually get drunk on holidays too.
I also do. My extended family is not easy. Not that you
Yeah.
should use alcohol to cope with that.
Yeah.
But Alex is not the only one who gets drunk on Thanksgiving.
I'm going to say I was influenced by Supergirl to do that during my holidays. That is not true.
No. But Alex also does it every night, which is when it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Families are tough. Like, especially once you leave and come back, it can be a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't get drunk every holiday, but like there's been a couple.
Only the ones where my grandma comes and asks me if my roommate is moving into the house that we bought together with me. My roommate.
Yeah. But anyways. I think that's all I really have on this show. It was a short one, unfortunately. Oh, I had a question. This is just like super random. So at the end of the episode, when they figure out like why Nia's having these dreams, she says, "Cassandra, this is what my dreams have been about." What is that from?
I don't know, because I rewinded that to be like, did I hear that the correct way?
I've just started watching with closed caption on the rewatches. It's just easier.
Yeah. I watch everything with closed captions.
There's a Woody Allen movie called Cassandra's Dreams, but I don't know if that's what that's from because I don't watch Woody Allen movies.
Also, should Supergirl be quoting Woody Allen?
Cassandra is a soothsayer, says Leslie. All right, Leslie, I need more details. I don't know what a soothsayer is.
Leslie, yeah, tell us more.
Greek goddess.
Oh, is maybe that's like her, like, great Zeus, like her exclamation. I don't know.
I've tried to incorporate saying Sprock more in my daily life.
Sprock is good. I should replace fuck with that. I don't want to though.
Yeah.
Fuck is too good.
Oh,
tells the future. Okay, thank you. I was gonna be really upset if Supergirl was quoting Woody Allen movies. Another thing that we shouldn't teach young kids to do.
Exactly.
Watch Woody Allen.
I just when I heard that and I thought like about that movie, I was just like, wow, how many wrong ways can they take this show? Oh.
Mm-hmm. Huh. All right, you want to get into... Okay, Leslie says Cassandra, or Cassandra with a K, ancient Greek, sometimes referred to as Alexandra, was a Trojan priestess of Apollo in Greek mythology, cursed to utter true prophecies, but never to be believed. Huh. I never got into Greek mythology.
Me neither. And like, I'll hear snippets of things, and I'm just like, man, I should read that stuff, but I never have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really bad about it. That's like my weakest category on Jeopardy.
Yeah. Okay, you want to get into emails?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think we had 2, 4, 6.
We have 3.
Okay.
So our first one is from Daryl. Daryl says, I'm glad they brought back the intro, but they certainly took their time doing it. Several parts of this episode bother me. They have had Lena helping them for years, and they just now gave her the Super Friends welcome. I swear, if it wasn't for Kara, they wouldn't bother inviting her to social gatherings at all, and would only include her if they needed something. I just love how excited she was and how happy to help she was. Also, those Brainy and Lena scenes last week were definitely in the tower, so I don't know why she is only getting the tour this week. That's a good point. It's a very good point.
That is
Maybe
a
it's
super
because
good
she's
point.
like officially like moving in as
I mean,
a full time.
yeah. I mean, like Daryl said in his last email, there seems to be a lot of different levels to that. So maybe she only had like the
She didn't get
Outsiders
the full
tour.
tour, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the show always does this thing where they don't mention something for months, and then they start talking about it every chance they get. It was Alex adopting. Yeah, they gave that one up.
For now.
Now it's now it's Brainy and his inhibitors. I have to say I wasn't paying attention last week to the hologram, but this week wow, that is a bad wig Kara is wearing during her hologram. It's distracting. Like
It is super
the
distracting.
holograms should be sad and I should be missing Kara while I watch them, but instead I am looking at the wig.
Yeah, I mean, my wife rarely watches the show, and like she'll just like occasionally look up while I'm watching, and she noticed it like at a glance. Like, what is wrong with
So
her?
bad.
It is so bad.
I think I tweeted like Zarel calls Kara Ina, which means daughter in Kryptonian, and she makes the saddest face and says, "Nobody's called me that in decades." And it's so sad, and it broke my heart in half. And then it immediately flashes to bad wig, and I was like, "I'm done. Like, I'm done."
Right? Oh, they ruined it for us.
I know, and it was supposed to be another super emotional scene because it was Lena and Alex watching Kara talk about how much she loves them, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm out of it. Like,
yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Leslie is laughing at the wig. So are we, Leslie.
Terrible.
So bad.
Yeah.
Daryl says, I almost wish Melissa had bangs again so the show wouldn't subject us to seeing that. Which of you has seen the first Scooby-Doo movie? The chrysalis is like the big pot in the movie that was holding all the souls. If I have, I was a child.
I did not see it. But I like Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend where Scooby-Doo teams up with Batman in comic books. DC Comics puts it out every now and again. There's like over 100 of them from like over the years.
That's
but
amazing.
They're very entertaining. Just funny and fun, and like it gives like Batman a lighthearted spin.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah.
I hate to see Lena blaming herself for Lex's actions because him sending Kara to the Phantom Zone is in no way her fault. I agree. I don't like how the show keeps writing out the fact that it was Alora and Zor-El both who put Kara in that pod. So is new imp friend the big bad? I'm wondering that too, because they haven't really introduced a big bad. And Mixie does come back, so if he comes back to try to stop her, maybe
that could be it.
Because now if she got so mad just because Kara wanted to go back and get her dad that she was gonna go to Earth and fuck things up. Like, how mad is she gonna be now that Kara took away her chance to get out of the Phantom Zone and left her for dead? Even though Kara tried to get her out, but she doesn't seem to be the most rational.
Yeah. Even after all those shenanigans, Kara tried to save her. She's just amazing.
And I did notice that Kara, like when Nixley just cost Kara her chance to get home, and she still was like, Nixley, we gotta go. Like, she didn't want her to die. Right. Yeah. In a way, I am glad because now we don't have to wonder about the identity, unlike with the leader of Leviathan. Alex, how can you say you trust Lena, then just rip the device from her hands like that? I agree. That made me mad.
Yeah. She should have gave her like a beat. She said she can't take no for an answer. But like,
we didn't know that was the answer.
Yeah. She was kind of leaning in that direction, but we didn't know.
Yeah. Like, I guess later that, like, she kind of implied that she would have said no, but, like, we don't know that. She might have said yes.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. That really bothered me more than anything else has this season. Maybe in this show. Alex's whole speech to Lena means nothing if she's just going to take the device like that. Can anyone explain how Jean helped capture the Prime Phantom? Because I know what Brainy and Neo were doing, but I do not understand his contribution. You mean him just...
Yeah, because he already, I mean, he's trying to use his psychic powers, I guess. However, he had already said in the episode that, like, when he tried to, like, psychically connect with them, there was, like, nothing there.
Right. I don't know. I truly love that, like, every scene they do is just Nicole Main standing there like this, and David Harewood standing there like this. And Melissa Benoist often standing there like laser eyes. Or like,
yeah.
So funny to me. Now we have Kyler Lee just doing this.
It's got to be odd to film.
It has to be super odd to film. That's how I feel about or felt about Charmed. What I loved the original Charmed, but I always thought about how they were just either going like this or this or trying to levitate. And I was like, this must have just been bonkers. Anyways, thank you, Daryl.
Thanks, Daryl. Okay. So our next email is from Clara, and the subject is "Stop Hurting My Babies."
I wish they would, Clara.
Yeah. Hi, super podcasters. How are you doing on this absolutely stellar week? Any intention of eating your feelings away? I'll tell you what, like, I wanted a strawberry donut by the end of this episode. That's no joke.
I know. Let me tell you, I worked all day today. I work at an LGBT center, and I work at a college in an LGBT center, and we were doing graduation for our LGBT students because, like, that's one of the only spaces where you can wear whatever you want and, like, invite whoever you want and, like, definitely not be dead named and stuff like that. Like, it's the safest type of graduation for queer students if they have to maybe sacrifice some other stuff to go to the big ones. So that was today, and we bought these fancy cupcakes for them, and I have so many of them in my house right now. So I'm going to be channeling my inner Brainy. There's a lot going on with these cupcakes, and I'm pumped about it.
Awesome. Feeling like your life force is about to exit your body? That's all right.
Always.
It's right. It's only the slight phantom pandemic that has been happening.
The pandemic.
Yeah. Before I go on and spill my feelings about this episode, I would like to get the awkward bits out of the way. Because, see, this episode was good, but it had the potential to be great, and it makes me a little sad. The CGI, of course, was a joke, so I won't I won't dwell on it because something else is bothering me a bit more.
Okay, hold on though. Do the phantom portals look like somebody colored them in with colored pencil? Like, they look two-dimensional and like someone just like spray painted them.
It reminds me of when channels, this was like a long ass time ago, like 80s, when they would either go off the air when there was only like 13 channels, or it was like there was always like a channel that it seemed to never have anything on, and it was always just fuzz. And that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of that fuzz that was like when there was no channels present.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like I said, that's old school, but that's what, and then it has like some red to it, but that's what it makes me think of. Again, that would be very low tech. Have you noticed that the episode was 4 minutes shorter than a regular episode? That we have, friend.
That was not lost on anybody. They got caught.
Yeah. At this point, I just feel like they're fucking with us. And maybe that they fired their entire editing team, because how hard can it really be to move things around a little so that all episodes are the same length? And let's say there's time for Alex and Kelly to share important moments on screen. Exactly. I'm actually really surprised that it was only 38 minutes because I thought with network shows you had to stick to like the uniform like 43 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if they just, I mean, they, first of all, the fact that it was 38 minutes, that intro was really long. I feel like it was like 37 minutes. Because that intro felt like it took forever. It was at least 30 seconds, the intro. And it's interesting to me that they put it in now in episode 4 and not beforehand, because they were clearly trying to fill the space. So they must get like 38 to 43 minutes or something, and then just have to fill the rest of the time with ads. But very silly to me.
It is. And then Clara says, just a thought. And while we're on the topic of poor editing, and since we had 4 minutes to spare, I wish they'd given a few more seconds at the end of each scene instead of cutting around constantly to jump from one plot to the other. That being said, I did enjoy this episode. See how good the show is when Lex isn't in it? And I will now proceed to cry about it all over your inbox.
Should we take a moment and go, I will remember you.
So where shall I start? What will hurt more? Is it Kara giving up her one chance to go home to protect Earth from a mad imp? Or is it Alex giving up her one chance to bring her sister home to protect Earth from Phantom Prime? Or maybe it's Lena unknowingly paralleling all those times Kara refused to sacrifice her, even if it meant letting the world burn. Are you crying yet?
Remember me.
Because I am.
Yes, I'm crying, Clara. On the inside.
Who wrote this episode? I just want to talk and maybe send them my therapy bill.
I'm pretty sure it's the same person who wrote, and Leslie, you're gonna have the number right on it, but the one where Jean's dad was like accidentally destroying the world and making everybody angry, and Kara like yelled at Monel, and it was the most beautiful scene in the entire world when she was like, you were an abusive asshole and here's all the reasons why, and like punched him. That person wrote this one, and that's why it was good. That's why we knew it was going to be better.
Right.
In Search of Lost Time. See, Leslie,
on it.
Thank you.
I admittedly do not care much about Zor-El. He doesn't deserve an award for best dad of the galaxy, and Jeremiah did more for Kara in the short time they had before he took a sabbatical in the jungle. But when he called Kara Aina, I died. Kara's face killed me. I went to wrap her in a blanket.
That was beautiful acting.
It really was. Probably my favorite Melissa Bean so far this season. Mm-hmm. She just, again, the things she can convey with just her facial features, and just, it's just amazing. I went to wrap her in a blanket, feed her and hot stickers, though I can't believe they're called dumplings now, because there truly is no continuity in that show. And talk to her and talk to her in Kryptonese all the time, so she will never feel alone or abandoned again. Someone needs to give her a hug before I lose my shit. Probably technically they're dumplings, but is it like a geographical thing? Like people in Pittsburgh call soda, they call it pop. You know what I mean?
People
like how
in Pittsburgh do a lot of words that aren't words.
That's true.
Charlie and I have both lived in Pittsburgh. Let me tell you, that is a different language.
It is. It is its own language. But you know how there's like regional dialect?
Yeah.
Is it like dumpling someplace and like pot sticker is a different place? Is that?
I don't know, but they're both in National City, so
yeah.
Or maybe for Kaluans, it's dumplings.
Right.
Hoagie versus Grinder. I've never heard Grinder. What is? I mean, I know what Grinder is, but I've never heard Grinder about a sandwich.
There is a grinder place in Pittsburgh, in Bloomfield. Well, there used to be, and it's WG Grinders.
Interesting.
I would figure like
because I've only ever heard like the hoagie versus sub debate, but I've never seen Grinder.
Yeah. Leslie says Grinder is a hoagie in New England. Yep.
Interesting.
On Insight, we should have known not to trust Nixley. She's got the same haircut as Kara had last season, and Kara last season was not great. Now that I think about it, maybe Kara has been stuck in the Phantom Zone for much longer than we thought, and we were actually dealing with an imposter. This would certainly explain the sudden lack of bangs. Nixley did make some valid points about Zor-El abandoning Kara. I agree. Like, I think she was... I know it wasn't quite the same as what Nixley described her own dad doing, but if they... Like, if Zor-El and Alara knew that the planet was dying, like, you think they would have planned better. I'm just saying. Right. I've always thought that. Unfortunately for her, she missed one of Kara's core traits. When given the choice, Kara will never leave anyone behind. Even if it means putting herself in danger. She will always go the extra mile, always choose to sacrifice herself if it means someone else gets another chance. It makes me want to cry. Smash the only exit of the worst place in the universe, effectively trapping herself on the wrong side of the door, and then still try to save the person who made her do it. Kara Zor-El is too good for this world. That's really, really poignant.
It's quite true.
On the other side of that now busted mirror is another angst fest. I absolutely cannot deal with all these women and their heartbroken faces. This should be illegal. I'm very happy that Lena is now an official part of the Super Friends. T-shirt though.
Yeah, where's her t-shirt?
But if someone could also give her a fucking hug, that would be great. She was so eager to She was so eager to help and looked excited to be a part of the team, only for her hopes and dreams to be crushed in 5 minutes. That's not okay. She looked so cute, nervous when she came back from her tower tour with Nia, a tour that I would have also liked to see. I mean, they had the time, so yeah, we could have seen that tour. A bit like a kid on the first day of school, she'd done her homework in advance and was ready to save the day as well. She did save the day. Low-key saved the whole world, but she couldn't save Kara. True.
That makes me depressed.
Yeah. Kara, Leslie says, Kara was extremely angry at her for abandoning her and sending her away in some hostile takeover. Yeah, she was. She like really like that scream still. Or she blasted her with the heat vision. I hope Alex tells Kara about all of this when she comes back, even if it has to happen off screen. You know it fucking will. And it's only mentioned in passing. I want her to know the length Lena went to bring her back. The choice she was ready to make. Kara over the entire world. I want Kara to know about the tears and the pain someone needs to put in front of her, spell it out how much Lena cares about her. Even if it might be a little breach of sisters-in-law trust. It's okay. They can always talk it out again on the balcony of feelings. And then maybe go
feeling.
And then maybe go to an AA meeting. Yeah, that needs to happen sooner rather than later. Yeah.
To be clear, I'm not laughing about AA meetings. I'm laughing about the fact that they really need help.
Yeah, yeah. And we were just talking about that, and that needs to happen.
Yeah.
I also have a lot of feelings about Brainy, and not just because of his cute siblings' interaction with Lena, but I feel emotionally drained, so I trust you to talk about how precious he is in my place. Him and Nia make such a cute and organic couple. They fit in together, they're not rushed or underdeveloped. I adore them, and I love how they are rebuilding their trust in each other bit by bit. And I can't wait to see. Oh, okay. Damn it, Clara. Um, and I can't wait to see them fuck up the timeline together. I thought that was going like in a whole other direction. I was just like, wait.
Oh, you thought it said I can't wait to see them fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this show is still at. Oh no, it's not. It's at 9 p.m. now, but it's still. Maybe if they switch to HBO.
Because these people might be the smartest, but they are also incredibly fucking dumb. We are just supposed to ignore people literally shed their DNA everywhere they go, or do Kryptonians not do that? I don't think they do.
Hair follicles too.
Toothbrush, anything. They could literally just go to Kara's apartment and steal her hairbrush without screwing up the timeline. Exactly. What fun is that? That being said, I do look forward to seeing the young Danvers sisters and to go back to Midvale. I mean, honestly, I think they're doing it because that was like one of the most popular episodes that they've ever made.
I just watched it a couple days ago and it's still so good.
Yeah. Oh, Clara says, I was watching the Midvale episode for season 3 just the other day and it made me cry.
Okay, so same.
Yeah. P.S. They said life force so many times that I felt my own life force exiting my body. We need to go fund me them a fucking thesaurus. Yeah.
I'm also gonna say, just since we're still working out the kinks of this stuff, I think our recording stopped at 2 hours, and it wouldn't let me start it again. But I am recording on my screen, so we'll still have a recording. We'll just have to put them together, which is fine. But if you're listening to this afterwards and things sound weird, that's why.
Excellent.
There must just have been some sort of limit. We're still working this out, and hopefully won't be doing double episodes too much going further.
Yeah.
Now that we figured out this live streaming thing. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah. I will say the whole double episode thing, like I feel like it's mostly my fault. I'm actually back in school, so my time is exceptionally limited.
You're good.
As opposed to what it would be.
It's the end of the semester and I work at a college, so I don't have a lot of time either. So it is not all just you. But now that we are doing this live version, we may not have to set aside as much time to do editing, which takes easily double the amount of time that it takes to record. So we should be able to get episodes out more quickly and less with this format. So
yeah.
Hopefully that'll happen. And hopefully we'll work out the kinks. But this is the first time. So, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Unless it'll be Alex took a blood sample from Kara and Human for a day in season 1. She
did.
And I thought about this, but it was at the DEO. And the DEO
why couldn't they
is
just
no more, right?
Yeah, but they could go back in time to that. So why can't they go back in time and just sneak into that DEO, get that blood sample, and then be done?
Yeah. Alex would know when she worked and didn't work and could just or Jean can go through walls.
So
like, what the hell?
Yeah. They could easily. The plot holes. Oh, I also just realized this is all on YouTube Live as well, so it should all be in one thing saved on YouTube Live, so it should be fine. We shouldn't have to splice this all together. Okay, look at that technology.
Excellent.
Thanks, Al Gore, for the internet. Anyways, was that all of Clara's email? I didn't mean to interrupt that.
Yeah, no, that was it. That was it. That was everything. Okay. And Leslie says, but the desert facility still exists. It does.
You're right.
But they'd just be like, it was at the other place.
Right.
Whatever.
Oh my goodness, Jacko is screaming about it. Come here, buddy. What do you have to say?
No. Tany's
What do you have to
cat.
say? What do you have to say, my boy? Oh my goodness, he's stuck on me now. Okay, bye. Pardon any of the black cats that may show up on this screen. Shelly has one. I have 4. They're just here. Okay, was that Clara's whole email?
That was everything.
Okay, cool. Our next email is from Leslie. Okay, Leslie says, feedback on Lost Souls. Even though this episode was short on minutes, had some wonky science fiction and serious discontinuity, I actually and unbelievably liked Lost Souls. I enjoyed it even more so after my second viewing. There were several significant scenes with Supergirl, including a poignant moment between Zor-El and Supergirl, in which he called her Ina, which is Kryptonian for daughter. Jacko wants food. I'll feed him in a minute. I knew Nixley was not to be trusted. She really turned evil on a dime, but Supergirl prevented Nixley from getting what she wanted. True to Supergirl's character, she tried to save Nixley from the explosion, despite having betrayed Supergirl and assaulted Zor-El. If you hear what sounds like crackling, it's not crackling, it's Jacko sharpening his claws on cardboard. In case you thought I was breaking up. Just the boy.
No.
Come here, Jack.
At least it's not your furniture.
You're right.
And Leslie says that she has one black cat. That's awesome.
Yes, we
black
love
cats are the best.
I have a little black cat necklace right here, my boys.
Oh.
Okay. I knew Nixley was not to be trusted. Oh no, I read this already. Whew, this is what happens when we do these things live, and I can't edit this out. I usually make us seem so flawless. Zor-El is still wimpy to me. I laughed out loud when Nixley said, "Don't be such a killjoy, Papa L." So did Shelly.
Yeah, I did too. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good stuff.
Questions remain, however. Was Zor-El killed when that unknown facility within the Phantom Zone exploded? Well, I mean, was he technically still in there, or did they have to go outside of it to get to the other mirror?
He was in a barracks or something, right? So, or a supply barracks or something to that effect. I don't know. I'm sure he's still alive.
He seems to not be that easy to kill.
Yeah.
Is Carl all alone, or was it all just a hallucination? I don't know. I have confusion.
So much confusion on that.
I felt so sorry for Supergirl as she looked at the destruction of that facility. Yeah, she seemed real sad. Aspects of this episode I particularly liked were, 1, the Super Friends living up to Supergirl's self-sacrifice credo for the greater good. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
Lena confessing to Alex that it was Lena's bad attitude about Kara / Supergirl and Lena's problematic actions of working with Lex and creating Non-Nucere as if one could program humans to be nice. I'm glad that Lena feels somewhat responsible for what happened to Supergirl. I greatly appreciated Lena's honesty and self-reflection. Alex and Lena. I'm laughing because Jacko's screaming at me. Alex and Lena had some good conversations and worked well together, except that in their last conversation on the tower's balcony, Alex said the word soldier again. That's another drink of water in the drinking game. Here, we'll just... Power and Soldier are the apparent watchwords for this season. That's funny because those like featurettes have come out where they're talking about how like the theme of the season is power, and we're like, we know. Like it's very clear. You did not use subtlety at all. Brainy eating donuts, a true delicacy and my personal favorite pastry, although on my first viewing of the episode, I thought Brainy's eating was inappropriate and rude. But as Nia noted, Brainy was eating his emotions. When Nia became frustrated, she too took a bite out of a donut. Yeah, that's not the best coping mechanism, but it's better than scotch.
It is way better than scotch.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't go wrong with donuts, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree. I would rather have donuts than scotch any day. I'm hoping
Leslie
that holding
toasted
back
with
the will
us.
help. Oh, thank you, Leslie. We're just gonna show how my life is. Okay. The fight scenes in the sewers with the Phantoms, especially Nia's force field tunnel through which Alex ran to destroy the chrysalis. I liked that the Super Friends destroyed the Phantoms and restored the humans to their normal selves. Jean correctly noted that Supergirl would return to Earth as a new Phantom Zone if they did not stop the Phantom's plague. This is true.
Yep.
What I'm interested in is if the synopsis for episode 7 is that going to the Phantom Zone to rescue Kara, spoiler alert, sorry, makes everybody relive their worst fears, then, like, why wasn't that happening when they were interacting with these Phantoms on Earth? Because you saw Alex have flashbacks.
Right. I mean, maybe they were, and they just didn't go into detail. Yeah.
Yeah. Supergirl's fight with Nixley and Supergirl's decision to break the magic mirror to prevent Nixley from getting to Earth. The Supergirl intro is back. The intro had been missing in action since What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way, Season 4, Episode 13. It has been so long since there has been a Supergirl intro that when I first saw it, I thought I was watching a rerun. I was a little dismayed, however, that Superman still makes an appearance in Supergirl's intro. Of course he does. They're still just trying to, like, bump up Superman a little. Which I will eventually watch. I just don't have the motivation to do anything new at the moment.
Right. Leslie asked, did you notice the Phantom change into the woman with the huge head of blonde hair change? For a second, I thought it was Kara.
I was wondering if that is her stunt double.
The call.
Because I think her stunt double looks a lot like that. I just have to go look back at her Instagram to see, but I think it very well might have been. Despite enjoying this episode, certain other aspects of it did not make any sense. Why would Alex offer Lena Kara's legacy crystal as a source of DNA when Kara's apartment is full of her DNA? Wish I could tell you. Why can't the Super Friends go to the Fortress of Solitude and get a copy of Kara's legacy crystal? Kara recorded her statement on a computer. Also would love to know, because Nia said that they found crystals, not just one.
Right.
Why do the Super Friends need to go back into time 14 or 15 years ago when they could go back in time to right before Lex grabs the Phantom projector and lock it up so he cannot find or use it to send Kara to the Phantom Zone? Also a great question. If they're going back in time to fix things, there's a lot they could fix.
Right.
Supergirl blew out her powers or solar flared, especially because, like, the reason behind not going back in time to fix things is because it, like, messes with the timeline in ways that make it worse. Like, that was the whole theme of one of the seasons of The Flash.
Or all of the seasons of The Flash.
Yeah, or all of the seasons of Legends of Tomorrow.
Right.
So, like, that is why they, like, won't justify going into the past to fix everything. But if you go back into the past to just fix Kara getting sent to the Phantom Zone, like, that doesn't change anything. Like, it's been 2 days. Nobody else knows that it happened. Like, just change that.
Right.
Whatever. It's a lot less risky than going and changing the past of 2 teenagers. But, you know, whatever. Supergirl blew out her powers or solar flared in Red Tornado. It took time for her powers to return in Human for a day, where Laura explained to Kara why she had lost her powers. Kara and Alex acted as if it was the first time Kara had lost her powers. And if the Super Friends needed a time when Kara solar flared, why not go back to the Red Tornado time frame? Also doesn't make sense, and I'm sure they'll just use Crisis to explain it, but that's
Right.
getting old.
Yeah. I mean, technically it is a different Earth with a different history, so maybe this was added.
Sure.
It is the biggest loophole ever.
It truly is. Supergirl also solar flared in the darkest place when Lillian threatened to shoot Mon-El if Supergirl did not solar flare into a helmet, which looked like it was collecting her solar radiation. That, I think, can be explained with the fact that Lillian and Lex were not evil in this world. Or at least had not done a bunch of evil shit in this world. On Earth Prime. Prior to the little murdering half the planet thing that Lex just did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Supergirl discussed solar flaring in the premiere of season 5 in the Event Horizon. Yeah, I thought that too, because she had like used all of her solar energy to like keep John from getting sucked into the Phantom Zone.
Yeah. And Leslie says Kara went back in time just a few minutes to save everyone from rain. That's true. And she's reliving that.
Yes. The writers want to have a Midvale episode, so they conjured up out of the whole cloth another time previously unbeknownst to us when Kara solar flared when she and Alex were in high school. And I certainly hope this episode focuses on Alex and Kara, and it's not some unfunny scenes where Nia and Brainy say, "What's up?" in exaggerated and affected fashion throughout the episode. I never liked that commercial.
Me neither.
That's certainly what they made it look like in the preview. Is it too much to ask that these Midvale episodes be of the same outstanding caliber that the original Midvale episode in season 3? I certainly hope that Eliza is in this episode. Me too. Also, can they tell Eliza that Kara is not on the planet? Like, I feel like she'd be interested in that information.
Right. I mean, maybe they're trying to fix it before they kind of like what she doesn't know doesn't hurt her if we can fix it.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
But like when Kara comes back, she's gonna be all fucked up, and her mom should probably know.
Yeah, that's true.
I also hope that the prom night episodes do not do too much damage to the show's continuity. There is no continuity, so you know what? They can do whatever they want.
They've already damaged the continuity so much.
They did it. In the Midvale episode, Eliza was reading Cat Grant's book, Cat Grant 9 Lives and Counting, when young Alex and Kara came down for breakfast. Cat also had her first son, Adam Foster, at this time. Given that Adam and Kara are around the same age, I am concerned that these prom night episodes are going to destroy the Supergirl continuity. And of course, the rather lame excuse will be that everything is different because of Crisis. I would give the logic of the science fiction and the show's attention to its own continuity in this episode the almost failing grade of a D-. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Despite that, I liked the episode and would give it a solid B and a B+ for the special effects of Nia's tunnel thing. Brainy and Jean turning into phantoms with their red and white eyes, and Kara running away from the explosion. I thought those eyes were cool.
Yeah, I thought they were cool. I think Jesse Rath posted something on his Instagram that showed they looked so irritating, like in that picture.
It looked awful.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could see through them. Until next week, have a phenomenal podcast. Thank you so much, Leslie.
Thanks, Leslie.
So that is it for Supergirl. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop the recording, but it's not gonna stop the stream. So cool. Did you want to talk about anything else before we go on a quick break?
No, I'm all good.
Awesome. Oh man, I meant to do this before I stopped the recording, but I'll put in a little like rate and review, whatever. I'll just copy and paste from one of our old podcasts. Okay, cool. So do you want to come back at 8:40?
Can we do 8:45?
Yeah, that's totally fine with me.
Okay, it's 8:32 on my end, so
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay.
Okay. We'll be back at 8:45. What I'm gonna do to see if we can redo this recording thing is I'm gonna end this stream. And then I will start a new one immediately after. So that should show up on Pod Off Course. And it should connect to YouTube Live, and I'll put a new link in Red Herring on Twitter. And Shelly, I will email you a new link to a stream. So it shouldn't change much. Everything should still be accessible on Twitter. I'll just see if we can get a new recording going.
Okay. So I will go ahead then and leave this stream.
Cool.
When we're done.
All right. See everybody at 8:45.
All right.